As we begin to get a sense of the size and scale of these strikes, we've just heard from CENTCOM. What do we know?
Well, we know, Joe, that several sites were struck, about a dozen, as we understand it at the moment. Some 85 different targets. So just to go back to some strikes that we saw in recent weeks, just because there's 85 targets doesn't mean there's 85 sites. There could be multiple targets at one site. Over 100 different types of munitions used and some long-range bombers coming from the U.S. So certainly something that the administration talked a little bit about earlier this week, and we anticipated this, obviously, in response to the 3 American service members who were killed in Jordan over this past weekend.
These targets in Iraq and Syria, as opposed to Iran itself, there was a deliberation about how far to go here. This apparently is the beginning. We were told these would be multi-tiered strikes. What should we expect after this, then?
Well, we don't exactly know what's to come next. The Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, and others within the Biden administration have talked about a multi-tiered response. What they're trying to do, as you alluded to just a moment ago, Joe, is avoid a wider regional conflict. So they have held back, at least at the moment, from striking Iran. There's really no reason at this point to anticipate that they will strike targets in mainland Iran. But we expect, in addition to these airstrikes today, potentially some more strikes and on a rolling basis over the potentially next few days. But certainly a strong response at the moment, and we'll have to see how it's received in the region and by folks on the Hill and elsewhere.
Sure. The hardware is a bit different than what we've been seeing with strikes, from F-16s or F-15s, maybe cruise missiles coming from ships. Dan, CENTCOM now telling us more than 125 precision munitions were used, and in some cases coming out of heavy bombers. This is a new level.
It's a new level. I think it's not as targeted. I mean, if you'll recall, we saw in response to the Red Sea attacks that have been going on for several weeks, targeted strikes on limited sites in some areas in the Middle East. This is certainly a little bit more than that. When you have long-range bombers involved, that's going to be a heavier type of munition that's involved. But, in terms of spreading beyond Iraq and Syria, we don't see any indication that that's happening yet. So it still seems to be tied, really, to these American service members who were killed in Jordan.
And, Dan, do we know these bombers flew from the U.S.
According to
the other side
CENTCOM,
of the
they
world?
said that they long-range bombers from the U.S.
As opposed to our bases in the Middle East.
Right.
An important detail there. Dan, thank you so much for breaking news here. Bloomberg's Dan Flatley reporting from our bureau in Washington, and our national security team suddenly very busy tonight. We're going to have a lot more on this story and a conversation a bit later on with former Ambassador to Iraq, James Jeffrey. Elsewhere, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan canceling now the planned March 4th trial that she had set for Donald Trump's election obstruction case. Another breaker today here in the Capitol, and Bloomberg's Erik Larson joins us with more from our legal reporting team. Erik, we saw this court date fall off the docket a bit earlier. Is this to make room or allow time for Donald Trump's immunity challenge?
I believe so. I mean, this judge has a lot of planning to do to get a trial this big and wide-ranging going. And as the judge said in her brief order today, there was a jury summons that was supposed to happen in about a week's time. That was also canceled. So given how long we've been waiting for this ruling from the Federal Appeals Court in Washington on Trump's immunity challenge, it's just been taking a little while, I think a little longer than expected. People, I think, some experts were expecting that the court would make a decision sooner on whether Trump is actually immune from these charges because they happened while he was president. So all eyes are on the appeals court right now. That decision could be handed down very soon, and we could then get another trial date very soon, but we really don't know.
In the meantime, then, Erik, it's entirely possible that the case is in New York. Alvin Bragg's case, the fraud case, might actually be heard, the trial be heard before the special counsel's case in Washington. That's exactly what Donald Trump was hoping for, isn't it?
Well, that would mean that the first criminal case to go to trial, as you said, would be here in Manhattan in the so-called hush money case that starts March 25th. Trump is accused of falsifying business records to hide a hush money payment to a porn star just before the 2016 election. anything that delays any of these trials is honestly going to be a benefit to Trump, because he's been wanting to delay them all along to get them closer to the election and make it so that they should just take place after the election. That's what he's wanted all along. So,
yes,
but for right now, we're expecting that one to go ahead.
If they're moved to after the election, there's a good chance they don't happen at all, right? Erik, are we going to be in a world possibly where Alvin Bragg has the final word before the 2024 election?
I mean, anything is possible. We also have that Georgia case, another state case, which, it's not as easy for a president to try to shut down a state case, of course, if Trump were to be elected. So that case is also in trouble. There's other news out of that Fulton County prosecution today as well, with the turmoil over the district, or the Fulton County district attorney and that relationship with her lawyer on the case. So there's just so many questions swirling around all of these trials right now. There's no trial date set in that Georgia case. So like I said, it's all eyes are on the appeals court in Washington, this immunity fight. Really, whether or not this immunity ruling goes his way, that's what we'll either get this trial or we won't before the election.
Insights from Bloomberg's Erik Larson, our legal reporter, as the ground shifts beneath our feet once again. Erik, thank you. Also today, in what would likely be our lead story on any other day, a blowout U.S. jobs report, with January payrolls topping all estimates by a long shot. Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su weighed in earlier here on Bloomberg.
For President Biden and for me, that's what we want to see, is more spending money in workers' pockets. So when you look at all of the numbers all together, it's not just that single one. This is really a sign of a strong economy that's continued to grow and continue to see broad-based growth.
Let's look under the hood on this important data here. Joining us for that, Bloomberg's Enda Curran at the table in Washington. Enda, if you're the White House, this is all up, right? Payrolls blew the doors off, wages up, but does it bring new inflation concerns? Does it change the track for the Fed?
Great numbers, over 350,000 jobs created, unemployment at 3.7%, wages up, like you say, Joe. December's numbers also revised up, so a good set of jobs data. The downside, as you say, is yes, it suggests at the very least it will complicate the Fed's job to bring down interest rates in an environment where the economy is still doing great with jobs. And, of course, it might complicate this whole inflation story anyway. There's a linkage between a very hot labour market and inflation remaining somewhat high. And that's, of course, what the big concern for the Fed is.
I tell you, look back to last week, stronger than expected GDP, better than expected PCE. You go to this week, not only the jobs report today, consumer sentiment at its highest since mid-21. Can the White House officially say no recession this year?
Well, I mean, it's very close to being called a soft landing by anyone's metric. The problem for the White House is they don't seem to be getting a political dividend from these good economic numbers that you mentioned, Joe. I think part of the problem is, yes, inflation's coming down. Yes, people have jobs. That's good news. But, of course, prices for everyday living is still higher than it was 2 or 3 years ago. And that seems to be stinging people's pockets and continuing to leave a legacy, I think, of a taste of sourness in everyone's mouth.
Headline on the terminal here from the Fed's Bowman, not yet at a point where rate cuts are appropriate. What do the markets think? We were at 90%, I think, for May before the report came out.
I think it was pretty much 100%. Yeah. Yesterday, it's already down to 60%. At the very least, it's pushed back. Forget about March, as you discussed earlier. Yeah. May now is an open debate. It's uncertain when this rate cut might come. All I would say, though, is employment is a lagging indicator. When it does move, it moves fast. So overcoming months conditions could change and change quicker than we think. But right here, right now, it's a very strong jobs report, and it suggests the economy is in pretty good order.